Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
Happy Monday, all you minties. Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for the latest She-Hulk Omnibus from Marvel Comics. Today we're going to be looking at She-Hulk by Rowell Omnibus. So, stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, a big thank you to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us an advance copy of this omnibus. This omnibus is due out in the direct market and book market on October 28th or 29th, depending on where you get your books. So, last week of the month. What we are looking at here is the standard edition cover. This is the one that is supplied by Jen Bartel, and it's going to be the one that is available everywhere. On the left-hand side is your direct market cover, and that one is supplied by Peach Momoko. That one is only available at places like cheapgraphicnovels.com, waltzcomicshop.com, bdcosmos.com, comicsbugle.com, diabreecollectors.com, readcomics.com, forbiddenplanet.com, and panel-bound comics, in-stock trades, DCBS, Tales of Wonder, and of course your local comic book store. And yes, there is a difference in the spine. There's a different picture of Jen down there. But everything else underneath the dust jacket is the same, so we will shift the focus back to this cover right here. This absolute gorgeous cover by Jen Bartel. A celebration of everything that makes She-Hulk the amazing character she is. And then not only do you have Rainbow Rowell right there, but you also have Roge Antonio, Andres Janelot, Iguara, Luca Maresca, and Takeshi Miyazawa taking the top billing for the art. And again, this is what the spine looks like. You have the Marvel Omnibus, She-Hulk, and all of those creators, including Rainbow Rowell at the top, and then this beautiful picture of Jen. And the back of the book. These are some of our key players, honestly. Titania, Hellcat, Andy's back, and this obscure character is back. Jack of Hearts, and of course, our main character, She-Hulk. Sensational. The ISBN, rated T+, and this one retailing for $100. And before I take the dust jacket off, let's go ahead and put it on the shelf, because this is the 5th She-Hulk Omnibus, and it is the most latest She-Hulk Omni. So if you're getting this series in just omnibus format, this is the way it will look. However, if you're getting it in trade paperback format and mixing and matching, this will go after the Mariko Tamaki run, which goes after the Charles Soule run. That's where you read this series. So yes, this has been available before in a series of 5 different trade paperbacks. So they're even actually using this cover right here for the book. So pretty much those 5 volumes make up this Omni right here. Of course, it's bigger because it is an omnibus. Let's go ahead and take the dust jacket off and look at the beautiful art on board. And then, of course, look at the flaps here. Jennifer Walters is going places. And then the bio on the creators right here with some more of our main cast or supporting cast. So there we have Jennifer Walters on the left-hand side, and of course, the beautiful She-Hulk on the right. The spine of the book looking a little bit different than the actual dust jacket spine. And then another gorgeous picture of Jennifer with Jack of Hearts. So what I'm going to do is open the book up and talk about the type of stories you're going to find in here for this era of She-Hulk. And look at this artwork, look at the build, and of course, look at the extras. Let's go ahead and get this Omni opened. Green end sheets, which of course rightly fit the book. Purple would have been acceptable. Who am I? I don't design books. What do I know? By Rainbow Rowell, the She-Hulk title up there. This gorgeous picture of She-Hulk, and then there's a lot of that in here, by the way. The credits, which is mainly Rainbow Rowell, of course, writing the entirety of this omnibus, and you have artists like Roge Antonio, Luca Maresca, Takeshi Miyazawa, Andre Ginolet, Iguara, Joe Quinones, Jessica Gao, just to name a few, with Joe Caramagna supplying the lettering for the majority of the book, and you have colorists like Luca Renzi, as well as D. Canuffy. And kicking it off with issue number 1. So, in this particular omnibus is She-Hulk, the 2022 series 1 through 15, the Sensational She-Hulk 1 through 10, and then material from the Marvel Comics 2019 1000. So, the book has a total of 624 pages and retails for $100. And to kind of give you an idea as to what's happening here, I got to talk a little bit about what happened previously. So just minor spoilers really going into it, other than the fact that you need to know that Jennifer Walters turns into the Sensational She-Hulk. That's really all you need to know about the character. Because in here, everything, I promise, everything is explained. So we do see Jennifer Walters having this narration, and it's a very dramatic narration about starting over. How many times does she get to do a redo? And she is approached by none other than Mary McFerrin, and that is Titanium, who is a supervillain, and she picks a fight with her. And this is when things change, and you get to see maybe the tone of the book and the way it will go. Where She-Hulk pretty much puts a stop to this fight, and then she says, you know, maybe we should take out our aggression another way. And she asks her if she has her own apartment, because that's what she's looking for right now. She is on her way to a new job, and she needs a place to live. So then she tells her, maybe we'll just start like some kind of fight club to get out all this aggression. I love fighting. You like fighting. But do we really need a fight? And it becomes kind of what the book will be. It doesn't take itself seriously, just like we've seen with She-Hulk before, especially breaking the fourth wall. By the way, for people that are going to ask, is this more like the John Byrne era? Is it more like the Dan Slott era? Is it more like the classic Savage She-Hulk? Or the Peter David stuff? No, actually, it's its own thing. And there is some fourth wall breaking, and it actually has one of my favorite fourth wall breaking of any comic book in here. I don't want to spoil what that is, but it legit like got me. I was like, oh, that is a really powerful breaking the fourth wall. Where she does end up is the offices of Mallory Book. Now, Mallory was a character that had previously appeared, and she's been an antagonist and has had a relationship with people like Awesome Andy, which a lot of people think is really weird, including myself. But this is where she gets a job. She ends up working out of the closet because that's her office. The rule is no tights, no superheroes. Just come and do a job and then leave, get a check, and repeat. That's it. That's her job. That's all Mallory asks for. She still needs a place to stay, so then Janet hits her up. Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, offers her a place to stay. She's like, look, I own this suite. I don't ever use it. I haven't been here since the last time I let you borrow it. Why don't you just take it? And that's what she does. And finally, Jennifer Walters has her own place. So there is a little bit of drama, and where is that drama found? That's in the reappearance of none other than Jonathan Hart, Jack of Hearts, formerly deceased. And the drama comes in the part that there's a flashback, and like I mentioned, everything is explained through here that happened previously. Not everything that happened in She-Hulk's life, but like the important things that make this book work. Where apparently there was a mission where Jack of Hearts was with She-Hulk and he hurt her. And it does explain everything in case you haven't read things like Avengers Disassembled or the... Now, is that a spoiler? No, it's not really a spoiler. I'm not going to talk about exactly how it happened or who exactly he is, but or who he is during that time. But apparently, yeah, there was a whole thing with maybe some zombies running around and then being revived by Joe Harper. The point is, this takes place after Avengers Disassemble, so there is a lot of conversation about that, if you remember exactly what happened there and who the villain was and manipulating all the characters, including Jack of Hearts. When Jack arrives now, though, there are some things that have changed in him. Like he's thirsty, and he realizes, wait a second, I've never drank water. I haven't drank water in years, not since college, because of his powers. And of course, his powers are very, very unique. He's got these superhuman abilities. It's called, what is it called? The Zero Fluid, where he pretty much has strong stamina and durability, and the ability to generate the zero energy within his body, so he can like absorb energy too, which is what a lot of writers have done with him in the past, including his own creator, Bill Mantlo. But now when he comes back here, he's changed and he's drawn to Jennifer for some reason. You're at first a little confused as to why he's drawn to somebody like Jennifer, but it does explain why exactly he went to see her. The other thing that's changed within him is that he can eat now, so he can touch and maybe feel. Like, this is a different type of character, and he ends up just crashing at her suite. And then we see Jennifer go on day by day, just life, and going to the office, coming back home, and talking to Jack. The reason I said this is so different is because it really does feel like a slice of life type of story. Whenever I see people complaining about, not complaining, but rather comparing American comics to Japanese comics, so like manga, it is a different tone that they use. Manga sometimes just has stories about slice of life, what's happening in their daily routine, whether you're a tennis player or a soccer player or a teacher or a nun, just a variety of different slice of life stories. Whereas in America, we tend to find that usually in independent comics, not really in superhero comics. And this is one of those few exceptions. It has happened before. This isn't anything new. But when it happens, it does become something special, and people pay attention to it, and I think that's why people were drawn to the series, because it really does feel like less superheroes, more about people and that human connection. So she does end up starting a fight club that not only Titania joins, but also Volcana ends up joining. Ben Grimm hears about it, and then of course she's got her day job. She's got the office. She's got Andy. Andy's back. Yeah, so if you're a fan of his character, mainly the Dan Slott version of his character, and then of course, you know, breaking the rules a little bit with superheroes, and then starting to develop this relationship with Jack of Hearts. And there's a lot of that in here. There's a lot of romance, and don't worry, there's still some action in here, and that action comes early in the form of this guy. This is Mark and his girlfriend April, and they look a little off. There's another, and I'll show you what I mean by off here in a second. There's another supporting cast member, and that is, of course, Patsy Walker, Hellcat. Anytime she comes back to a comic book, whether it's Iron Man, whether it's Avengers by Kurt Busiek, I get excited. She's such an obscure character and has a long history with Marvel Comics that I love how different writers utilize her. And in this, she is utilized as a best friend, as someone that Jennifer can talk to about her problems at home, basically with Jack and what's going on with him and her, and then of course at the office. So it's nice to have like that girlfriend relationship. The type of the type of cases that she has are usually, yeah, revolve around some kind of superhero or sometimes supervillain. But like Nightcrawler comes in and says that mutant kind needs representation because of Krakoa. So this is set during the Krakoa era. And again, back home to Jack of Hearts, will they, won't they? And if they do, what does that mean? What can it mean for someone like Jennifer? And it becomes a really beautiful story. Yes, this is the character of Mark and April, and you can find out why exactly they look a little off. No, I swear that's not the art. There is a reason why she looks like that, and this is the one that's done by Miyazawa, if I'm not mistaken, the last few story arcs in here. And covers again with the issue number on them. And drama, right? Because that's what life is. So, what happens when you get your heart broken? Will they, won't they, actually turns into something, and then when that something goes away for a while, what do? You go and take it out on the freaking fight club. Now, it's not just a fight club. There's an actual book club. Oh, this guy right here. This mysterious guy, the scoundrel that shows up. He's pretty smooth, so he's kind of stealing Jennifer's heart. And there's this awesome use of these two Eternals that show up through here too. And let's actually go through here. Yeah, this is the book club issue. The entire issue is these girls trying to read this book, and she's having a book club party. It's such an amazing celebration of 175 issues of She-Hulk is celebrated in this format right here with her friends coming over to talk about this particular book, and she doesn't exactly know how to hold a book club because she's saying some things that they're like, oh, that's a bit of a spoiler, Jennifer. Yeah, you need to watch out how you talk about a book. You know, you don't want to spoil it for the people that aren't in that chapter yet. And eventually even Captain America shows up. Now, of course, the series was, it didn't get canceled, but it did come to an end with issue number 15, and then it got relaunched. Now, of course, there's drama, more drama. So, yes, if you like slice of life or things like Strangers in Paradise, oh my gosh, is this book up your alley? And this is the final issue right here before it got relaunched as issue number 15. Now, one of the things they did, and properly so, is give us the backup stories right here. These, I think, they kept till the end of the 4th volume or 5th volume. Maybe it was the 4th volume of She-Hulk, so that would have been Savage She-Hulk number 1 for some reason. Or volume 4, but the first 5 issues. It's confusing, I know, when there's a relaunch. But the first issue is cute, or this little backup story is cute. This is a favor. It's about a guy that just wants to shadow She-Hulk. She thought it was shadowing him as a superhero, but no, he just wanted to shadow a lawyer. And then the next one is the return of Wyatt right here. A classic character back in She-Hulk's life, but only for just a little bit. And then we have the relaunch with Savage She-Hulk, or Sensational She-Hulk number 1, not Savage, sorry. Where we have the introduction of these guys, or rather, reintroduction. Remember when I said there's these 2 Eternals? There's Awesome Andy and Mallory Book. Carcass and Ransack were 2 characters that were created in the Eternals. I think it was Eternals. It was definitely when Jack Kirby was on the book. It was Eternals like 8 or 9. One is too ugly and got kicked out by the Deviants, and the other one's too pretty and got kicked out by the Deviants. But what their problem is here is actually getting kicked out by the, I think it is just the manager, the apartment manager wants to kick them out. And speaking of getting kicked out, the Absorbing Man does not feel like he's wanted in the Fight Club. He feels like they don't really want him there. And there might be a reason for that. And then we have, of course, Bruce Banner showing up. You know, you've got She-Hulk. You gotta have her cousin show up for not a cameo, but 2 issues. And there is a reason why he does show up in this book. It's just not to make a quick appearance to sell the book, but it was actually needed for a story that had been going on for a while. And yes, Jonathan sticks around for a long time in the book, becomes a big part of this book. This is a girls' night out with not just Patsy Walker, but also Carol Danvers. And what could that mean for those girls? We even have this character right here that shows back up. This is, oh my gosh, Ganymede? She comes from the pages of Guardians of the Galaxy, where both her, or no, actually Silver Surfer, because there was that issue with Silver Surfer where her and Jack of Hearts team up, and that's exactly what she wants, a team up again. And it goes in different kinds of ways that you would not think a team up would go. And then the finale here is this Avengers story, and I don't want to give away what happens and how exactly it ties it into She-Hulk, but it is a good send-off for the book, and I really love the final page of the book, talking about She-Hulk and just the way that she can reinvent herself. I love that because, you know, it's almost like, in a way, breaking the 4th wall, letting the reader know that we know it's coming to an end, but we also know that a new writer can come in at any time and take over the book or do her or his own thing. Jen McKay, I think, is the current writer that's writing the She-Hulk character within the pages of Avengers. And I think there might be a new She-Hulk run, if I'm not please correct me if I'm wrong. All right, all the way in the back, we do have the variant covers, as you saw in the in between issues is where you get the standard edition covers. And sometimes you get variant covers on the opposite side, or sometimes before the backup stories. But yeah, these are the variant covers, and the credits are all the way at the bottom. Some of these I've never seen, and some of these are absolutely stunning. This is the one that they used for the variant cover by Peach Momoko. This is an homage cover by Cafu after Adi Granolf. Wow, that Patrick Gleason cover is gorgeous. Yeah, I didn't realize that she had. It's a really good one. So many covers. Finally, we get a classic George Perez Jack of Hearts. And this beautiful cover over here by Adam Hughes. It was the foil cover. It's another homage cover. Zombie covers. And that is Carrie Andrews right there. Russell Dodderman. Wow. Yeah, I was waiting for this one. If you don't buy my comic this time, I'll come to your house and rip your X-Men up. This is the Hildebrandt brothers. This is, yeah, it's a masterpiece variant. The Mark Brooks headshot covers. David Nakayama. It's nice. And then your end sheet. So green, of course. Now let's talk about the build. 624 pages. This one is printed at the Mega Print. So it is using glossy paper stock. It is sewn binding. And paper stock is a little bit thicker than actually both the Donnelly and the iMac printer. And where I notice it the most, I don't know if anybody else notices this, is the actual dust jacket. I think this is the thickest dust jackets that are out in the market. And it's the Mega Print that puts those out. But also the internal pages here. It doesn't take away from the way that it lays over because the gutter loss is very minimal. There is minor, and I mean minor bleed through happening. If you're looking for it, you'll notice it. But that is it. That's what this era is about. Slice of life, She-Hulk. Still some great things happening in there. Lots of drama. And of course, lots of ass kicking. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this omnibus, don't forget to check out our sponsors. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this omnibus. In the comments down below, let me know if you've never read the series and you're going into it completely blind, or if you've picked it up already and you're upgrading your single issues or your trade paperbacks, and what other era of She-Hulk would you love to see collected in an omnibus format. I'd love to see that Charles Soule run, but maybe they could put it together with the Mariko Tamaki run. Anyway, I'd love to know what you all think. Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Patreon and Spreadshop. Amazing ways to support the channel if you can do so. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.